Have you ever felt like um, you're putting in all the hours, working incredibly hard, but somehow you're still hitting this frustrating, invisible financial ceiling?
Oh, yeah. Like, you're doing absolutely everything right. Showing up early, taking on extra projects, just grinding through the weekend.
Exactly. But then you look at your trajectory and it just, it doesn't reflect the sweat equity you're pouring in.
Which is incredibly common, honestly, because the hardest working person in the room is rarely the highest paid person in the room.
Right. So today, we are tearing into the psychology of the high earner. We are relying on a breakdown of key lessons from Barbara Stanny's book, Secrets of Six-Figure Women.
And the mission of this deep dive is to explore how unlocking those higher earnings, it requires a lot more than just hard work.
Yeah, it demands a complete transformation of your financial mindset and your actions. Okay,
That
let's unpack this, because you really have to tear down your internal roadblocks before you even think about asking for a raise.
You really do. And that work hard and wait trap is just so incredibly seductive, mainly because it feels really noble,
Oh, no, totally. You put your head down, you grind, and you just wait for the universe, or like executive leadership, to spontaneously recognize your brilliance.
Right, and reward you with a promotion. But the harsh reality is that value is never just assumed. It
Yeah.
has to be broadcast.
And you can't broadcast value externally if you're dealing with a compromised internal operating system.
Exactly. You can't change your external financial reality until you fix what's happening inside your head. Attitude determines how we respond to chances and challenges.
I always think of it like trying to drive a sports car with the parking brake permanently engaged. Working hard is the gas pedal. Right.
Yeah, you're revving the engine.
Right. You're revving the engine, burning fuel, but that negative mindset is the brake. You're just burning rubber and going nowhere.
That is a perfect analogy. And the source talks about actionable steps here, like replacing negative beliefs with positive affirmations.
Right. So taking a script like, I can't afford this, and consciously forcing a swap to, I am working toward financial freedom.
Exactly.
But I have to push back here a little bit. I mean, is just repeating an affirmation really enough? It sounds a little bit like manifestation fluff. Does it really give you psychological permission to spot alternative options?
Well, what's fascinating here is that the underlying mechanism has nothing to do with magic and everything to do with neurobiology.
Okay, color me intrigued.
It's about your brain's reticular activating system, or RAS. It filters out unnecessary information, so when you operate on the script, I can't afford this, your brain accepts that as a closed system.
Huh. So it literally stops processing information that could solve the problem.
Right, because you've told it the problem is unsolvable.
Mm.
But I am working toward financial freedom is an open-ended task. It forces the brain to look for pathways or, like, investment angles you previously walked right past.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's ground this in a real scenario.
Yeah.
Imagine you were walking into a promotion meeting.
Okay.
If you walk through that door thinking, I'm not qualified for this level of responsibility, your physiology actually betrays you.
You physically withdraw, you cross your arms, you hedge your statements. You essentially guarantee you are invisible to leadership.
Right. But imagine taking the parking brake off. You walk into that exact same room, but you've rewired the script to, I bring unique skills to this table.
The objective facts of your qualifications didn't change at all, but the neurological shift allows you to actually speak up.
And potentially get the promotion.
Yeah.
Which naturally brings up the emotional elephant in the room, right? Fear.
Oh, absolutely. Fear is the biggest roadblock.
Because that I'm not qualified script is rooted in primal anxieties. Stanny's research highlights that common fears, like worrying about investing or running out of money, just completely prevent progress.
And we have to understand that the human brain treats financial insecurity the same way it treats physical danger.
It triggers the amygdala, right? Our threat detection center.
Exactly. And you cannot make complex, strategic career moves when your amygdala is screaming at you to run and hide.
So how do you fix it? The source mentions writing down your worries and pairing them with a truth, right?
Yes. Facing fears head-on reclaims your financial control. It shifts the brain's focus from limitation to opportunity.
Let's play that out. Say I want to take a costly course for career progression. The fear is, I'm never saving enough, this costs too much.
Right, so you write that down, get it out of your head, and then you write the truth next to it.
Like little amounts add up over time, or this is an investment in my future that pays for itself via a promotion.
Exactly. You are using logic to soothe the amygdala. You reframe the fear of cost into an investment.
Okay, so the internal dialogue's rewired. The parking brake is off.
Yeah.
The fear is managed.
Right.
But how do we translate that newfound confidence into tangible, real-world opportunities?
By strategically engaging with the people around us.
Right. Stepping into the arena. This is where lesson 3 comes in. Networking is crucial.
And it's not just about passing out business cards at a mixer. It's about deep connections.
Yeah, the source emphasizes engaging coworkers, attending events, joining online groups, asking about others' journeys.
Because that gives you access to resources, mentorship, and, crucially, hidden jobs.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because, how does a shy person actually do this?
The source gives a great scenario for this. A shy person takes a deep breath at an event, approaches someone, and just asks them about their work.
And discovers they are looking for exactly their experience for an upcoming project.
Right. You flip the script from selling yourself to just being curious.
Okay, so networking creates the opportunity, but then you have to actually negotiate, which brings us to lesson 4. Effective negotiation techniques.
Which is essential, not just for pay, but for deadlines and roles.
The actionable step here is to prepare an agenda, anticipate objections, and role play with a friend to build self-assurance.
Yes, role-playing is huge. If we connect this to the bigger picture, networking and negotiation are two halves of a whole. Well, networking provides the intel and creates the opportunity, right? But negotiation is the tool you use to actually capture the value of that opportunity.
Right. Let's run a scenario on that. You're in a performance review. Your manager praises your work, but hesitates on a raise.
The classic stalling tactic.
Yeah. But how do you balance standing up for yourself with creating a win-win scenario, like the source mentions, without coming across as, demanding?
You outline your specific achievements. You don't just say, I want more money. You say, my initiatives drove a 15% increase in retention.
Oh, I see. You tie your compensation directly to their success metrics.
Exactly. Instead of giving in, you create a win-win based on the intelligence you gathered during your networking phase.
You make it logically impossible for them to say no.
And if they truly can't move the base salary, a skilled negotiator pivots.
Right, like asking for extra PTO or a professional development budget.
You never leave the table empty-handed.
So we have the mindset, we have a strong network, and we have the ability to negotiate. Where do we aim all this new firepower?
The final step is directing these tools at a target that forces you out of your current comfort zone.
Which is lesson 5. Establish ambitious goals.
You have to aim higher than your current perception of your capabilities to spark amazing development.
It's like progressive overload in weightlifting. If you lift the same 10-pound dumbbells every day, you start growing. You have to lift a weight that forces adaptation.
That's a great way to look at it. But setting a massive goal can be paralyzing. So the actionable step is to write down those lofty aspirations, but crucially, divide them up into more manageable, smaller steps.
Right. Identify the exact knowledge or experience needed for that 6-figure salary.
Let's take a scenario. Say you are feeling unfulfilled and you want to become a department manager.
Okay.
Instead of just hoping it happens, you resolve to take a leadership role within a year.
By honing specific abilities, seeking mentorship, and leading modest initiatives to build the necessary resume. So what does this all mean? I think the real secret sauce here isn't just the cliche of dreaming big.
No, not at all.
It's the act of breaking a massive goal down into modest initiatives so it becomes a practical to-do list rather than this daunting daydream.
This raises an important question, though. How does setting these lofty goals fundamentally alter our baseline?
Right, because it's not just about the money.
Aiming higher doesn't just increase income. The source notes it makes us more motivated and ultimately happier in our lives and jobs.
Because you've eradicated the helplessness. You are actively steering the machine.
It shifts your locus of control. You aren't waiting to be noticed. You are building the leverage to demand what you're worth.
It really is a complete behavioral overhaul. So to bring it all together for you listening, breaking the financial ceiling isn't about logging more hours.
It's a highly structured journey.
Right. It means replacing negative mindset scripts with open-ended affirmations, writing down and neutralizing your financial fears,
building deep, strategic networks based on genuine curiosity,
role-playing negotiations to capture value, and finally, breaking lofty goals into daily manageable actions.
It demands rigor, but the blueprint is undeniably effective.
Absolutely. But before we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave you with a final kind of provocative thought to chew on.
I like where this is going.
The source focuses entirely on the individual's actions to achieve a 6-figure income. But what happens once you get there?
That's a great point.
If a journey requires you to completely rewire your internal scripts, face your deepest fears, and step out of your comfort zone,
Hmm.
how does becoming a six-figure earner fundamentally change your relationship with the people in your life who haven't made that leap yet?
Yeah, the people still stuck in the work hard and wait paradigm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are you prepared for the social and relational shifts that come with financial transformation? Because building the wealth is really only chapter one.
Navigating the new altitude is chapter 2.
It is definitely something to seriously map out as you start breaking through your own ceilings. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
Keep asking the hard questions.
And keep challenging your own limits. We will see you next time.